New Year, everybody. Happy New Year, everyone, and welcome to Motivational Monday with me, your girl, Jackie O. Y'all, every time we are off on a break, it seems like we have been gone forever. So I don't know if you all missed us, but we really missed you all and being here live on our Facebook page and our YouTube channel with Jackie O. So if you are here and live and in color, y'all know how we do it. Go ahead and drop in the comment streets. That's the comment section. Where you are viewing from, we would love to know. And let us know, like, did you start off your new year with a bang? Because guess what? If you didn't, tonight is the night. And it is going to be fireworks on this show. So, Jackie O is a platform that we have created to help women to live well and to think well. We are going into our fourth year. Can you believe it? Oh my goodness, I cannot believe it. We are going into our fourth year. So, we are super excited to be back on this season. And we hope that you all are ready for a journey because we are here for it. So, we air every first Monday of the month at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, live on our Facebook page at Jackie O Blog and our YouTube channel at Jackie O. So, y'all, again, we have two phenomenal women that will be with us a little bit later in our segment, and we're going to be talking about rewriting the narrative, overcoming life's challenges. That's a good one. When we think about rewriting the narrative, and what does that mean? Listen, I have a couple of tips to kind of share a little bit so you'll understand what we're going to be discussing on tonight. So, when we talk about rewriting the narrative, it refers to the process of changing or altering the existing storyline, perspective, or interpretation surrounding a particular situation, concept, or personal experience. Some of the various contexts that we will be discussing on tonight, as these two ladies will be sharing their stories and just sharing some great information, is shifting your perspective. Shifting your perspective. So changing the way that your story or situation is perceived. Then number two is creating empowerment, taking control of your own story, taking control of it and transforming it into a more positive and empowering narrative. Number three is challenging stereotypes and assumptions. That is examining and challenging societal norms, stereotypes, or cultural narratives that might be limiting or harmful. Number four is embracing growth and change. That's recognizing that we are forever changing, we are forever growing, we are forever learning. Number five is promoting understanding. That is for us to understand other people, the diverse voices, the diverse stories, and be more inclusive and not think that it's all about us. We have to have an open mind. So when we rewrite the narrative, it suggests that we need to be intentional and an active process of re-evaluating, reshaping, and redefining the stories we tell ourselves and others to create a more meaningful, accurate, and positive interpretation of our experiences. So tonight, we're going to be talking about rewriting the narrative, overcoming life's challenges. We're going to be talking about our youth and how we can rewrite the narrative for that, as well as just life in general, setting the goals, sticking to those goals. We are in a new year and we're talking about 2024, and we don't do the resolutions, right? We're about making the changes. And so we are going to be talking about that as well on tonight and how to stick to it. So when you get to March and April, you're not like that, but you're still, going when you get to those months. So are y'all ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? I am so ready for this show. And to introduce to you our very first guest is Dr. Nina Gregory King. And after this, we'll be right back with Dr. King.
Dr. Nina Gregory King is a phenomenal instructional leader, an effective communicator, astute champion of student academic performance, and an advocate of children's emotional well being. She holds a degree from the prestigious Loyola University in Chicago. As a dedicated and committed mentor, she has spent the last 42 years of her career championing students' academic performance and giving life to their emotional well being. Through her exceptional service to her community, she has always shone like a million stars. She utilized staff development platforms to execute instructional strategies for students. Her stellar performance led her school being honored as a Spotlight School by the state of Illinois. She became an honored recipient in 2016 when she was named Elementary Principal of the Year by the Illinois Principal Association. She's strongly guided by her philosophy and belief system, which is that every learner is unique with the ability to achieve and deserves to be empowered with the proper tools and a comfortable environment to achieve success. Dr. Nina is the proud mother of 3 and grandmother of 7. She enjoys playing around with her grandkids and singing them nice lullabies as they drift off to sleep. She currently resides in the suburbs of Chicago, Illinois, with her husband, Irving. Please help us welcome the beautiful, the firecracker, the phenomenal Dr. Nina Gregory King.
Hello. How are you? And Happy New Year.
I am fine in 2024.
Woo! It is so good to see you again.
It is good.
Thank you so much for accepting our invitation to be a part of Motivational Monday with me, your girl, Jacquie.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, yes. So, you all, I was very fortunate to meet Dr. Nina back in November in Charlotte, North Carolina, and we were participating in a women's conference, Walking in My Purpose with Natalie Clark. And we were part of the panel. And when I tell you, when I met her, I was just like, okay, yes, um, I, I just need to have Dr. King on the show because she is amazing. She had some really great information that she was sharing on that day. And so when I asked her to be a part, she said, yes, I would love to. And we've been communicating back and forth these past couple of months. So I'm just really honored that she was able to be here with us. And y'all, this is January the 4th. I mean, the 1st. Oh my God.
Speed dial.
Oh my God. This is January the 1st, the very first day of the year. And I cannot think of a better way to kick off this year than with Motivational Monday and my 2 phenomenal guests that I have on here this evening. So, again, Dr. Nina, thank you so much and welcome. So, y'all, we're going to get right into our show. And again, we're talking about rewriting the narrative and overcoming life's challenges. And so, as we get right into the show, one of the questions that I want to ask you, so Dr. Nani, in your introduction, we talked about you being a great educator. And I think a little birdie told me that you just retired.
Yes.
You
Happily.
Yes, happily. I know when I get to be grown like you, I cannot wait to be in that retirement stage. But even in that, so you retired from going into the office every day educating children, but you're still educating. You're still educating. You're still educating kids and women and families, community. So you may have retired from your 9 to 5, but you're still out there doing it.
Yes.
Yes. All right. So, Dr. Knight, when we talk about rewriting the narrative, what does writing the narrative mean in context of setting and achieving goals in life?
Well, when we look at the narrative for today's youth, they are our future leaders.
Mm,
Now, the only problem is they are not a part of the decision making. As you go into schools and you see student unions, students don't have the voice
mm,
that I feel that they should have. And so, to some extent, they have been left out.
mm,
Um, but that doesn't mean they're not vocal. You have some student leaders that are very phenomenal. Take, for instance, two of the most important issues that our students look at today: climate change,
yes.
and you've got Greta Thunberg, and
Mhm,
then you have universal health care. Our youth are talking about things like that. And you have a nonprofit group of youth leader organizers founded in Germany that are
mhm,
aimed to make the next generation of our youth leaders open, responsible, and people that hear what they have to say. But as we look at the parent's point of view, every parent wants their child in today's stage to go to school, to be safe, secure. They want them comfortable in the setting at their home as well as in the setting of the school. They want them to achieve
mhm,
personal goals. I used to tell teachers when I was an administrator in the building, there is not one parent that has their child leave that home every day and says to that child, okay, have a good day. And I'm okay with you being a failure.
mhm.
Parents didn't say that to children because parents are sending you their very, very, very best. And as an educator, we have to understand that the vision is to take what parents have sent us, honor that,
Mhm.
and see if we can instill in that child the values and the choices to become. A child doesn't know who they want to be, but we have a responsibility to see that child and to say, I see an educator, I see a lawyer, I see a plumber, I see an astronaut. We can look at children, we can see their gifts, we can encourage, and we can allow them structure
Mhm.
so that they can become, they can achieve, they can be what their purpose is based on their personal goals and their God. And
Yeah.
that's the way I see it.
Yeah, that's good. And I like how you started off with saying how our children, they do have a voice. And sometimes their voice can get lost in the shuffle of things, and how it's important that we do listen to their voice. And that's a part of what we're talking about, rewriting that narrative, right? Like shifting the perspective, and with education, because that's your field, that's where you are, your industry is really helping the not only the children but also the parents to
Yes,
understand, that yes, we can rewrite this. We can rewrite the story, and it doesn't have to be the way society thinks that it is. Right. So
true.
I love that how you said that they need that voice, and we need to be sensitive and open to hearing the voices of our children. So, how do personal narratives or stories influence an individual's approach to setting and pursuing their goals?
Today's child has a lot of key influencers. Now, we can do a comparison. The child today is juggling a lot.
Yes.
They look at body image, and children make them aware of how they look. Now, don't get me wrong. We did that back in the 60s and the 70s. Children are experiencing more bullying.
Mm-hmm.
Again, that's nothing new. I think back to my youth and I think about people that were depressed. We didn't have a name for it though. And it's only through understanding that we can now put a handle on it. But what's new for our children in terms of what they have to deal with?
Mm-hmm.
You got gun violence. I don't know if we realize as a country, as a community, we've had over 40,000 people killed in 2023. That didn't happen back in my time. It wasn't so fluid. We've had over 630 mass shootings in the past 3 years. And then we've had COVID, which has isolated children
Yeah.
and put trauma on top of what they were already experiencing. And they have something we did not have. We had TV with 5 channels. We had the telephone.
Yeah.
And we had going over to a friend's house.
Yeah.
Now they have the media. They can get on Snapchat. They can be on the computer all day. They can talk to different friends. But that doesn't mean that our youth are lost, because there are some positive narratives here.
Yeah.
More information is available to our youth. And you can go out and decide anything you want to look at. I can go back and look at slavery. I can go back and look at history. I can spend the day and see the whole world. I can go to Australia. I can go to Rome within the confines of my home.
Yeah.
They have more parental support. Parents are not quiet. They weren't when I was a principal. They come up to school and they say, I have this opinion and I think this in terms of my child, or I want my child, if they learn in a particular way, to have access to it. There are more opportunities today for children to see themselves portrayed.
Absolutely.
When I was growing up, I saw Shirley Temple and I saw the guy that tap danced with her. But now they go on the television. They see Denzel. They see Samuel. They see Beyonce. They see Jennifer Hudson. They see Tyler Perry, who was a billionaire or about to be.
Yeah.
And they see a 44th president named Barack Obama, who said, every child can be me.
Yes.
And that is what, even when you look at the negative,
yes,
when you put the positive up there side by side, I had an aunt, 86 years old. She lived in St. Louis. And I called her and I said back in 2008, Aunt Marianne, did you go vote? She said, Nina, nothing could have stopped me from voting for the first African American president. That is something that was unheard of.
Yeah.
And she said, nothing, she was born in 1927, nothing could have stopped me. And our children can look at Barack and Michelle Obama. They can look at Kamala Harris and they can say, if that's who I want to be, if I'm willing to work, if I'm willing to achieve, if I got my parents behind me and I've got my community and I've got my family, I can do this.
Yeah.
And how powerful is that?
Yeah.
Because I couldn't have said that back in 1952. We were just going through Brown versus the Board of Education and getting the opportunity to go to school with children that were white. But now I can sit here and say, I have a president. Our children have a lot to overcome, but they have a lot of hurdles that have been removed.
Yes. Yes. Totally agree. And as you said, our children these days, they have so much more than us. Of course, you're a little bit older than me, but I do know that I remember, like you were saying, the TV channels and different things like that. And we didn't have a computer and the internet, but our children, they have that now. And they have more resources they can tap into. And as you were saying, there's more people that look like them that they can be like, okay, yeah, I really can do this because I've seen someone else do it. I've seen Barack Obama, Michelle. I've seen them do that. And so, yeah, I can too. And so you're right. I totally agree with that. Dr. Nina, as we're wrapping this up, what are the key components of effective goal setting that contribute to a compelling narrative for success? What are the key components of effective goal setting that contribute to compelling narrative for success?
I think the key components are that students or children must be active participants in their own learning. I think they have to be responsible and accountable. I believe that there is a network that children need, from the nanas and the grandmas to the mothers and the fathers to the aunts and the uncles. That old adage, it takes a village to raise a child, that wasn't just something that was a crapshoot.
Mm-hmm.
It really does.
Mm-hmm.
It takes everybody investing, from the child himself to the parents, to the school,
Yeah.
to the community. And I believe, I'm from East St. Louis, Illinois, and I couldn't have made it if I had not had someone in my family that saw me and thought I could be more.
Yeah.
When I decided to be a teacher, and I had two aunts that went to Lincoln University and graduated back in the 50s, and one was a math teacher. But when I said I wanted to be a teacher, everyone applauded me and said, what a great career. We're proud of you. You can do that. And when I decided to get My first master's, my family supported me, and I got nervous and said, well, what about a doctorate? And again, I had all of these people saying, you can do it. We've got to do that for our children.
Yes.
And we've got to be visionary warriors. We're not looking at our children and saying, oh, you're not going to never be nothing. You're not going to never do nothing. You just stuck.
Mm-hmm.
We've got to see them as more.
Yes.
And when we see them as more, everybody's got to see them that way.
Yeah.
I had a child in my school, and I had never heard of an autistic mute. And this child did not speak. And for a whole year, he sat in kindergarten, and he didn't speak his name.
Mm.
And the second year, I said, that can't happen again. Now, everybody's not going to agree with me. I went and got a big bowl of candy. I know it's not right. I'm telling you right now. But I got a big, huge bowl of everything I thought a kid would like. And I told that child when he came in, every morning I told his teacher, send him to me. And when he walked in my office, I said, if you say, good morning, Principal King, I'm going to let you get a piece of candy.
Mm.
For a whole week, he walked in there and didn't say a word. But the second week, he said, Principal King, can I? And I said, reach your hand in there and get a piece. And the second and the third and the fourth day. And one day he came in and he said, can I get a piece of candy for my sisters and brothers?
Oh.
And I said, you can. And then he came in, and it was close to Valentine's Day. And he bought me a Valentine's gift of 3 pieces of candy.
Mm.
And he said, Dr. King, you have been the best principal to me.
Oh.
And I hugged him and I said, boy, get on out of my office. Because I did not want him to see me cry.
Mm.
There is not a child in this world that we can ever give up on, that we can ever throw away, that we can ever say, forget about him. If you are the neighbor, you help. Or if you are the teacher, you help. If you are the minister, you help. Whomsoever you are, that child deserves you.
Yeah.
And I only have one quote, and I'm going to say this, and I'm going to be done. And it is by Mandela. He said, education is the great engine of personal development.
Mm.
It is through education that the daughter of a peasant can become a doctor, that the son of a mine worker can become the head of the mine, that the child of a farm worker can become the president of a great nation. It is what we make out of what we have, not what we are given, that separates one person from another.
Yeah.
And thank you.
Wow. Thank you so much, Dr. Nina Gregory King. That was amazing. You all, we have such a limited time on our show, but Dr. Nina and I, we talked about doing a workshop in the spring, and she's going to be talking about educating and our children and the voices. What you heard tonight was just a tip of the iceberg. So we're going to be posting that information soon with the date, how you can register. And the great thing about it is, you all, it's going to be virtual. So you can tune in from anywhere where you are. So stay tuned for more information that'll probably be coming out within the next several weeks as we finish wrapping up how that's going to look. But we really enjoyed you tonight, Dr. Nina. Please tell everyone how they can get in contact with you.
And they can get in contact with me at Dr. Period Nina King Speaks. Now, I have to tell you, when I met Miss Jackie O, she gave me some cream for my face,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I have been using it. And I ordered product, and I said, this is something I can't do without.
Ah,
So she will know me regardless of what happens because her product is worth the very little money that she asked for, and it is going to give you amazing results. So
ah,
I have to give her that shout out, and then I have to say,
ooh. Thank you so much. Yes, you all. The Glow Collection by Jackie O, the Glow Collection. And as Dr. Nina said, we have a whole collection. She got our cleanser, our moisturizer, and she also has the calming butter. So y'all can check us out at JackieO.com. I'll be sharing a little bit more information about that. But thank you so much for the shout out and the review because that was awesome. And I'm glad you're enjoying it. So again, Dr. Nina, thank you so much. We hope you enjoy the rest of your evening, and we will be talking to you soon. Good night.
and I'm going to enjoy the rest of the show.
Yes, yes, you'll continue to tune in because we have another like hot mama coming on.
Okay.
All right, we'll see you
Thank
soon, Dr. Knight.
you.
Thank you. All right, guys. I know that you enjoyed Dr. Nina Gregory King. I told y'all she was going to be a firecracker, honey. She is really amazing. So, our next guest, she is no stranger to Motivational Monday with Jackie O. That is Janae Michelle. And she will be with us shortly after this commercial.
Janáe Michelle, a trained chef, human resource manager, and content creator, has redirected her focus toward aiding women in their fitness and health journeys. This transformation stemmed from Janáe's personal transformation, shedding over 140 pounds through exercise and dietary changes. Presently, with a following of over 75,000 on Instagram and 3,500 on YouTube, she shares her experiences online. Janáe aspires to demonstrate that regardless of age or initial weight, she started at 391 pounds and her current weight is 250. One can overcome obstacles to achieve their aspirations and lead a fulfilling, authentic life. Please help us welcome to Motivational Monday with Jackie O, the beautiful, the phenomenal, the magnificent Janáe Michelle.
Hello.
Yeah.
Happy New Year. Okay, so first of all, that was such a beautiful, like, I enjoyed the beginning of this show. Dr. Nine, come on, like,
I know,
that
right?
was amazing. I feel like I don't know if I could, I won't compare it to that, y'all.
Listen, yes, she's phenomenal. So, but hey, you're phenomenal too, girl. Now, because
I
you
appreciate
getting
it.
ready to bring it. Because that next to the last picture that we showed, with your back, I would get up and show my back, but it don't look too much like that. I'm like, okay, when I get grown, I'm gonna look like that.
Okay, we can work this out together.
I Listen, I said that last January, and I'm still saying it again. So I need to get it right. I need to get it right.
Hey, that's okay. We can keep each other accountable.
Yes, yes, yes. But again, thank you so much for accepting our invitation and being on the show with us on this evening. And you all, if you all are joining us, we are getting ready to talk to Janáe Michelle, and we're talking about Rewriting the narrative, overcoming life's challenges. If you are on, you're watching, go ahead and put in the comment streets. That's the comment section where you're watching from. If you have any comments, any questions, we would love to hear from you as we're talking to Janáe. So Janáe, before we get into this, just tell us a little briefly what you been up to, girl.
Ooh, well, work. So as you mentioned, I'm, outside of content creating and my fitness journey, I am a HR facility manager. And so this last year has been just extremely busy with the growth of our company. And then also just dealing with the facility aspect of it, because we have multiple offices throughout the US. So that has been an exciting journey. And I've kind of, if you follow me on YouTube, you've probably been seeing little tidbits about that as well. And then really just focus on my health. Like, that's really been what's super important to me. And then also building that community of women. Just, we have an accountability group on Facebook. We meet and we discuss on Friday morning or Saturday mornings and Monday nights. And it's just a great community just to kind of reach out. And soon, hopefully, we'll be posting another challenge. I know right now everybody's inundated with the New Year's challenges, so I'm gonna hold off for the minute, but I'm coming on strong real soon. I'm gonna be that challenge when everybody kind of starts falling off. I'm gonna be that challenge. I'm gonna be there to catch you.
Yeah, we're gonna be there waiting in the wings. Like, okay, when is the right time to jump out? Here we
Exactly.
go. Jump out, boys. I don't know. That is great. Well, you're looking great. Every time I see you, and of course, we follow you, Jackie O, we follow you and your journey. And I just love watching your journey, and the transparency of your journey is absolutely amazing. So, as we hop right into getting into our questions with you, our first one is, what advice would you give to someone struggling to follow through on their goals and bring their narrative to life?
Well, I will say this is actually a personal question because I've struggled. And in that struggle, you really have to figure out where is the struggle kind of coming from. And so for me, I've had to look back over my past. Like, are these areas that I struggled before, and how can I change that now? So to give an example, we've all gone through the different diets. We've had keto, paleo, like, you have all these diets, and I've tried them. But for me, I was not successful in those. And so when it was time for me to walk this journey, I was like, okay, what can I do differently than I've done before? Because that I wasn't successful in that, but there is a path that I can be successful. And the thing that I realized is I love food. I mean, I'm a chef, so I can't not eat. Like, I love to try different foods. And so I was like, well, I can't limit myself when it comes to that. But what I can do is I can change my diet to have healthier options. And then on those days where I'm going out with friends or I do want to try something, it's okay to have, like, you have to change your relationship with food to know that food is there to nourish your body. It's us who are taking, like, if you go in there, like, I like chips, but I also have like a chip bowl. So my chip bowl is basically like my ounces of whatever chips I'm going to have. And that's what I have. But it allows me to fulfill that need, that crunch, that saltiness without getting, because if you just grab the bag, you probably gonna eat half the bag or more. Like, like, it's really just really finding those things that work for you. And I think each of us has a different journey. And so when it comes to our goals in this, if it's something that you've tried before, think about, well, what happened during that journey? What wasn't I successful in? What was I successful in? And then really start to navigate that new path using those new habits that you can create. And I think, one of the books that I tell people about all the time is Atomic Habits. If you guys have not read Atomic Habits, it is such a great book because it takes you through building habits, but taking it one step at a time, not trying to jump into having, especially like this time of the year, we have 10 resolutions. And it's like, and that's part of the reason why so many of us fall off, is because you're trying to do these 10 things all at once in the beginning of the year. And then life starts to happen and you fall off one day and then it's the second day. But what I love about Atomic Habits, it kind of teaches us to build those habits. I'm gonna stack it. So like, if you want to do push-ups, for example, I think one of the examples in the book was, while your coffee is brewing, do 10 set of push-ups. Like, and this is like, and make that a habit every day. Or like for me, when a commercial would come on, I would do squats, or I would do calf raises, or I would just do something while like a commercial was on. So just finding those little times to build those habits. And then even one of the big ones that I love was, one of the examples in the book was, somebody wanted to lose weight. They wanted to go to the gym. And so his advice was, go to the gym for 5 minutes every day. And of course, somebody's like, why would I go to the gym for 5 minutes every day? Because it's not about the workout. It's about building the habit, going to the gym. And 9 times out of 10, you're going to get there and you're going to probably do something, whether it's walking on a treadmill for 20 minutes or lifting weight, or even if you just leave after the 5 minutes, but just make that a habit of going every day and getting that 5 minutes in. And in the book, that person ended up losing like 100 pounds just because because after a while they went to the gym and they was like, I'm here. It doesn't make sense not to do it. So it's really just finding what works for you, and and for me, that's what was important, is looking back over my past and seeing, okay, how was I successful? What ways did I fail? How can I change that? And how can I build that into this new path and this new journey, and take it step by step, not trying to do everything all at once, but just taking it step by step and then continuing that, because that's what makes you successful. That's what keeps you consistent on something. Just taking those small steps instead of those, we all try and do those giant leaps, especially this time of the year. And this is not the time to do those giant leaps. Right now is a time to focus on, it's January. By December, this is where I want to be. And then every day, just work toward that. Just, taking those steps, whether it's 5 minutes of walking, and then increase that to 10 minutes of walking, and then increase that to 15, just building those habits. To me, that's what's made this process easier, is just really kind of looking over your past and then making those changes to make you better this time around.
Yeah.
That's what worked for me.
Yeah. I like that. I love that. And I also liked how you said what works for you, because everything that is put out, does not work for everyone.
Yeah.
So you have to put the plan together that works for you. And that's really in anything that we do. What works when we talk about self-care too, right? I mean, it's not a cookie cutter type thing. It's like what works for you and what best can fit your schedule and whatever that you have going on.
Exactly. Because I know a lot of people tend to ask about, like, they ask me a lot of times about meal plans. They were like, well, what do you eat? And I was like, I can share with you what I eat, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work for you, because your body is different. And like, I don't have to eat sweets. Sweets don't affect me no way at all, because I'm just not a sweet person. Now salty, fries, chips, now that's my weak spot. And so it's really about catering and finding that thing that really, like you said, that works for you. And that's, like you said, that's in everything. That's from your workouts, your fitness, your self-care. It all looks different for each of us. Mm-hmm. And we have to find that thing that works for us as an individual.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah.
That's good. That's real good. Y'all, I hope you're enjoying this. We're going to be right back after this commercial break. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back with Janáe Michelle.
Be right back.
Letting go is a multifaceted concept that can have different meanings depending on the context. Generally, it refers to the act of releasing or relinquishing something, whether it be a physical object, a thought, an emotion, a relationship, or a situation. In essence, letting go is about releasing what no longer serves your well-being, personal growth, or happiness. It's a process that can lead to emotional healing, personal growth, and a sense of liberation. The specific meaning and significance of letting go can vary from person to person and situation to situation. What do you need to let go of today? It's time to start the process of letting go. Join me, your girl, Jacquie O, for Motivational Monday, every first Monday of the month at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. We'll be streaming live on our Facebook page at Jacquie O Blog and our YouTube channel at Jacquie O. Join us for an hour filled with inspiration, motivation, and valuable information aimed at helping you to live and think well. Motivational Monday with me, your girl, Jackie O, promises to be a time of empowerment and positivity. Mark your calendars and be ready to be uplifted and motivated to embrace the best version of yourself.
Welcome back. Welcome back. We are talking to the fabulous Janáe Michelle. And we have been talking about rewriting the narrative. And Janáe was just sharing with us, doing some practical goal setting, not setting these big, huge goals all at one time, as well as doing things that work for you. And you know, Janáe, as we were doing the commercial, I was just kind of thinking when we talked about doing what works for you, is people can get the model, right? Because it's just like a model home. You go to the model home, you see everything you like, you pick it out, and you customize your home from that. And it's the same way with you and with your workouts and your meal prep when people are asking you. So yeah, they could try that item or try whatever it is and see if it works for them. Then if it doesn't, okay, hey, we're going to the next thing that works for you.
Yeah.
And I know we talked about that before the commercial break, but I was just thinking about that as the commercial was going, that we can use things as a model and as a template, but we can customize it for ourselves.
Exactly. I agree with that 100% because I think especially in the beginning of a fitness journey, because
Mhm.
everyone always asks like, well, how do you start? Well, I think you have to start with what feels comfortable for you.
Right.
Because for me, when I started, I was at a weight where walking for me at the time felt kind of like my only option. I couldn't imagine trying to jump around or do do some of these strenuous exercises at the weight I was. And so for me, it was walking. For someone else, it could be dancing or yoga or just mobility stretching. Like everyone starts somewhere and is just constantly continuing to do that and building upon that as you're getting better, as you're getting, as you're losing weight or whatever that is. It's just continuing to build on that. But all of our journeys are completely different. And we have, because I always also found when you find something that you like, you stick to it. So
Yep.
if dancing is your thing, if tennis is your thing, you'll stick to it and then you can build on that. But stick to something that you enjoy. Because I think
Right.
a lot of us, especially like this time of the year, everybody signs up for the gym. Because right now, if anybody went to the gym today, it was probably packed. Because that's that time of the year. But you have people in there who are using machines that they probably have never used before. And then 2 weeks from now, they're not going to want to use those machines anymore because it's not really what they want. They just want it. They want to lose weight, but they haven't figured out what that thing is yet. If it is it like, I tell people, if you enjoy playing basketball with your boys on Sunday, maybe that's the thing that you should do more of instead of playing just on Sundays. Maybe play Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, or because those are the things that you'll start to do more and you'll enjoy it and you'll keep that going. So
Yeah.
I agree with you 100%. And I agree everything is it's a template.
Absolutely. And a key thing too, before we go to our next question that you said was, if you do it once, like them playing the basketball, maybe do it more times throughout the week. So that's really creating that time, because
Mhm.
we can say, oh, I'm so busy, I can't do this, I can't do that. But we find ourselves maybe scrolling,
Exactly.
a reality show that is a hot mess. Um, and so there is some time that's in there to where we can incorporate to do the things like you said, the things that we love, and creating those habits
It's
that
true.
so that we can achieve our goals.
Agreed. Agreed.
So, how do personal narratives or stories influence an individual's approach to setting and pursuing their goals?
You said personal stories, like personal stories to them.
Narratives or stories influence an individual's approach to setting and pursuing their goals.
I think when you can really take a look at someone. So just to give you an example, I have a friend, my friend Sherry. And when I first met her, from the moment I met her, she's been a gym person. Like she's always been a gym person. And I appreciated her for that because she, even though, when I first met her, I was not going to the gym, and throughout the years, I've gained weight and things like that, but she's always kind of been that person who I looked at and was kind of like, okay, like, maybe one day I'll try this, or, it was nice to just see her doing that because it was an inspiration, even though I hadn't met my limit yet. I hadn't gotten to that point of like, okay, I need to make a change. But it was when I made a change, I was able to think back on the moments that I did get to go to the gym with her, or just knowing that I had someone that was that I could be accountable to. And so for me, it's like leaning into your world and kind of seeing, okay, what is around me? What have I seen? What has inspired me? Even though I may not have made the move when I saw it, it was something that sparked something in me. And maybe it's that nagging little voice that you have in the back of your head that you hear. Like, we all have those kind of personal moments, those personal stories that we see. We see someone that we admire, a family member, a friend that we see doing something. And it's like, even though we may not make the move, I think seeing their journey, seeing their story, it encourages you, and you can start to take elements of that and build that into your own personality. You can use that to build your own character traits to become the person that you want to be. So like for me, Sherry, for example, was the person that probably really led me to weightlifting, because out of all my friends, she was the only one that I knew that was weightlifting. I had friends that went to the gym, but she was the one that was in the free weight session, section, and she was lifting and she had weight belts, and it always amazed me that she had all these things. But when I finally got to a point where I wanted to start to I guess dabble in that area, I leaned on her. And it was awesome to lean on her, but it was also that moment of being in a weight section and kind of like remembering our time together, or just remembering the things that I seen her doing that inspired me to kind of keep going. And then, soon we were working out together. And so we are now creating a story that I'm able to share with the people on, within my community. Like, they see me and Sherry on my Instagram and my YouTube, because even though she's like, she's much smaller than I am. She's a petite little thing, but she's a beast in the gym. And I think that's what I love showing is like, you see me at my size, you see what I'm doing, you see that I'm training and I'm getting better, I'm losing weight, but then you also see someone that is made this their lifestyle, and we can all do the same. And she'll tell you in a heartbeat, she go to the gym to eat. Like, she likes food. So, and like, that's her big thing. But I think when we look back over our own personal stories, the people that we have in our lives, those moments that really kind of triggered or lit a little flame inside of us, those things help you create the habits and the goals to keep going and keep pushing forward. Because when we have those moments, it's just like, it's kind of like when you're down in the moment, or you're not feeling it, you can draw from those stories. You can draw from those moments and get the inspiration to keep going, to keep pushing through. And I do it all the time. I'm so grateful that I now have this circle of women who I can lean into and remember our moments or their stories, or I can look at their Instagrams and their pages. But it just allows me to say, okay, you know what? I'm going to take this little piece of information and I'm going to use that toward my goal. I'm going to use that toward making myself a better version of myself, because I think we sometimes get so caught up in our own thoughts of who we think we should be. And then we actually end up not being that person, because then you're getting down on yourself because you should have been here by this age, or you should have had this by this time. You should have this much in your bank account. You should be at this weight. And it's like, no, like, these moments are for you to take in, to use in a positive way, and stop and stop down and stop sabotaging ourselves. Because I think a lot of times when we are looking at a fitness journey, a health journey, our illnesses, like, for those that don't know, part of the reason why I started this journey was because I got diagnosed with diabetes and high cholesterol, and I was at my highest weight of 391 pounds. And it was like, I knew I had to make a change. There was There was no other option. But guess what? I had did all that to my body. That was me. All I had to do was change my diet, change my, move my body a little bit more. And the only way that I was able to do that was pulling from all of those stories, all of these personal moments that I've had over time and incorporating that into my journey now. Because we all have it, whether it's the people that you're looking at on Instagram, whether it's your friends, your family, there's people around you that you've seen. You've seen a friend or a family member that you probably hadn't seen in months, and when they show up, they were half the size. You was like, whoa, like what did you do? And then they tell you that story. You lean into that, grab that information, and use that, because that's what's going to help you take those steps to get to your next goal. And that's going to, I just, that's for me, that's so personal, because I don't know if I would be where I am today if it wasn't for the people in my circle and the people on my social media. Like, I started this journey on Instagram, but I didn't promote the page. I did it more as like documenting my own journey. But women started to find me, and then we started to share information. They started to share pictures of the weight that they lost just using the exercises that I was posting. And it just became those little bits of information helped me to get to that next step. It helped me to create the goals to keep going. It helped me to create the habits to just keep being consistent. And I think that is so, so important.
Yeah. Wow. That was good. And I really like the part of how social media plays in this, and how you were saying that you took stories from different ones. And so I'm going to use like me. I follow you, right? And so I'm taking in all of those little pieces, because I'm thinking, okay, if she can do this, I can too. I just have to be disciplined. You know what I'm saying? And when I went to the doctor a couple of weeks ago and I had my full well exam, so they told me that I was like pre-diabetes and my cholesterol was a little higher. I think it was my LDL or whatever the lower one was a little high, but it wasn't high enough for medication or anything like that. I just need to change my eating habits, and I need to incorporate more exercise. So of course I already knew those things, I already knew that, but it took really that for me to get myself together. And so I said that to say, as I was watching your journey, then now I'm here on my journey, right? And so all of those little bits and pieces that I picked up from you, and then when I see my sister and just different ones, I can now compile that, and hey, now I'm headed on my journey.
Exactly.
And listen, I bought this seaweed, girl. I don't know, but I bought that because it was a little crunchy, and so I said, okay, I'm gonna put a little everything bagel seasoning on it, and maybe that's gonna taste like a chip. We're gonna see.
So is it the seaweed chips?
Yes. No, it's in that little packet.
The little pack.
Yes.
So I actually love those. That's like one of my favorite little snacks. But the trick, if you're new, I will say that the trick, if you're new, if you like stuff like spicy tuna, or even just like tuna salad, things like that, make little wraps out of it. Because and I first started my journey, that's how I did it. And now I eat them things like chips. I love them.
Okay. All right. Well, did y'all hear that little tip? So those of you that have seen it in the grocery aisle and you were like, go ahead and go buy that instead of that bag of chips.
Yeah. Try it. It's good. I'm telling you. It do taste like the sea a little bit. So you're going to have to, because it is seaweed, but they also have ones that are teriyaki flavor or things like that if you want to try those. But it's a healthy snack, especially like for me, because I am that salty person and not really a sweet. To me, it was the perfect kind of substitute for chips and things like that, because I had the crunch, I had the saltiness, and it was perfect. And then, like I said, I started to learn to make like spicy tuna, and I would wrap it in that. I would do avocado, little tuna, a little rice, and you can almost make almost like a hand roll sushi, like, because it's the seaweed that you would get in a sushi. So think about the things that you would get in a sushi roll, and you can do the same thing using those little chips as well. Or like I said, you can eat them just like chips, but they're a good alternative. For a bag of chips is what, almost 200 calories, and I think those seaweed packs are like 60. So
there you have it. Okay. I'm trying them because they're in the pantry, and so that's what I'm trying. Listen, oh my goodness, we always run out of time.
I know.
So Janáe, but before we wrap this up with the last thing that you want to say to our audience, I do like how you said about the tuna and the making it like a sushi. And what I would like to say in that is it's really better for us to make it ourselves instead of buying those little pouches. I know that they're convenient, but now that I'm a label junkie, I'm looking at labels and like, okay, no, I can make this myself with half the calories, less salt, using salt alternatives. So that's another really good thing I think, that we can point out. And of course, it's not going to happen overnight, right?
Yeah.
Making these little changes in how we eat, I feel that will be a lot better and healthier.
Yeah, because I think it's important, because I'm like you. Like I started looking at labels, and when you look at labels, so like a lot of times we wonder why we're feeling bloated, why
Mhm.
our hands, like, because I remember one day I was working out and my hands felt tight, and I was like, why do my hands feel so tight? But I realized that the stuff that I was eating, the amount of sodium in in a lot of this stuff, you don't realize. If you have a bag of chips here and you go and get a burger here, and you do, like, your sodium count at the end of the day is probably so high, and you
Yeah.
wonder why you feel bloated or heavy, or your hands are swelling, or your feet is swelling. It's because your body has so much sodium, is trying to find ways of releasing that. And that's why it's so important to drink water. Like, I think a lot of people don't think about their water content, and I know it's hard. I know a lot of people, it's flavorless, and but I'm like, if you can find ways to enjoy your water, find those ways. I have a friend that she puts fresh fruit in hers. I have another friend that does lemon. They also have these nice little pouches that you can pour in it that has electrolytes, but it also gives your water flavor. Like, start thinking about things like that. Or be like me and invest in like fancy, nice little bottles. Like, when I have a nice water bottle, I always feel like I want to drink out of it. Like,
Yeah. I'm the same way. Yeah. I'm going to drink out of this.
Yeah.
Like my favorite one is the color of Jackie O. It's that teal color. So, I'm feeling great. I'm going to drink this water. And another thing too, we can put to infuse our waters is different herbs like rosemary, basil, mint, different things like that is really good for you. Okay, we can talk about this, but Janáe, give us your last words to the audience and how can people reach you?
So my last quick word that I want to say is something that you touched on, and that was truly about finding your path on this journey. And I think that it is so important. I'm often asked, how do I start? What do I eat? All these things, but you really have to focus in on what is important to you, because what's important to you may not be important to me. Like, I don't focus on the scale, but you may want to hit a certain weight. Like, so what I tell you may not necessarily work for you, but if you find those things that work for you, it is so important, because then you'll be successful. So like for me, I knew I wasn't going to focus on the scale, but I knew that I was going to change my eating habits. I knew that I was going to drink more water. I knew I was going to move my body. The byproduct of doing those three things was weight loss. Hey, now that's a great, but I still do not step on the scale. Like, because I know, like, for me, that's sabotaging myself, because then I'll feel bad that I'm at a certain weight. I'll feel bad that I didn't reach this. Or so you have to find that thing that works for you. And so a lot of times I tell people, because they'll say, well, what do you do? Well, I can tell by the way my clothes fit, or I can tell by measuring myself versus getting on the scale. Like, I much rather measure myself than get on the scale, because a lot of times you're gaining muscle and burning fat. Well, muscle, guess what? It's heavy. It's weight. So if you replace a pound of muscle with a pound if you replace a pound of fat with a pound of muscle, you're still going to be 250. But if you measure yourself, you'll see the inches, you'll see the difference in that. So just be aware that your journey is not going to look the same. The people that you see on Instagram, each of us are different. Literally, each person that you see has had a different journey. Our body composition is different. Our genetics are different. So the
Yes.
way that we eat or the way that we exercise, somebody may burn calories really fast, or someone may lose weight really quickly. Someone may build muscle really quickly because that's their genetics, that's their body. Your version may be like mine, where it takes some time and it's step by step, but guess what? That's okay. Keep taking those steps. So I just wanted to touch base on that because I think it's so important to just remember all of our journeys. We may be all trying to reach the same goal, but all of our journeys, our paths are going to be completely different. But if you want to check me out, you can definitely check me out on Instagram. I try and post there daily. I post workouts, transformation pictures, food, anything that I could think of. And that is This Curvy Girls Fitness. And then I would love for you guys to also check me out on YouTube. I do more daily vlogs there, but all of my vlogs always include my workout, and I try and show you my food. And then it also shows you my life, because even though I am a content creator, I love fitness. Guess what? I have a real life outside of social media. I'm not at home working out and making great meals all day. No, I actually got a job. But I show that because I think some people forget that in this journey, we still have a life, and we have to navigate that life with these new health changes that we're trying to make and incorporate and be healthy and create these habits every day. And I think a lot of times showing that allows people to see that, you'll see that I'm human. You'll see that when I'm at work, folks want to go out to lunch and it ain't the healthiest lunch, and I got to navigate that, but it's a part of that journey. And so I think the vlogs are a lot of fun. So you can definitely check me out on YouTube, and it's just under Janáe Michelle.
All right, there you have it. And on that note, when you talked about that, the transparency, and we talked about that a little bit earlier, because I know that there are some days that you'll post and say, hey, listen, I really wasn't feeling this, or these past couple of days, it hadn't been like peaches and cream over here. And so that really speaks volumes too, in reference to you saying about life, because life happens. Everything is not perfect. You know, when we see things posted on social media, that's how people perceive it. And they're like, oh, they don't have any issues. But that's what I love about you. Like, you will post, this is what's going on right now with me. You know, you'll post the good things, but you'll also post the struggles.
Yeah.
Because we all have struggles.
We go through it. And I think that's the thing about social media that we forget. It's snapshots of people's lives.
Yeah.
And a lot of times I almost say it's not the real, because the snapshots are real.
Right.
But I feel like, you know, we forget, like you said, that we all have lives. Like, you know, this year, or this last year, wow. You know, I lost people that I loved. I lost my puppy. I dealt with financial issues. I dealt with depression. I dealt with anxiety, and that affected my journey. And so I want to explain that. I want to share that, because I know that I can't be the only one going through it. And when I shared it, I was floored about the comments and the messages that I got, to see how many other people were going through something similar or had been through it, and was just encouraging me to keep pushing forward, because they got through it and they're like, guess what? The storm don't last that long. Keep going. So being transparent on my vlogs and Instagram, it's very important to me, because this is what this journey is about. This journey is not about all, you know, you're not going to only see the good food and the good workouts. You're going to see life. And that's, you know, but that's what we all go through.
Right. There you have it. Well, again, thank you so much, Janáe, for being with us on this evening. And you guys, check her out. Go to This Girl's Curvy Fitness.
This Curvy Girls Fitness.
This Curvy Girls Fitness. Yes, check her out so you can follow Janáe Michelle on her journey and all great things that she has going on. Again, we pray that you have a blessed new year, Janáe, and thank you so much for being with us on this evening. Y'all, we'll be right back after this commercial break to wrap up the show.
Bye. Join me, your girl, Jacquie O, for Motivational Monday, every first Monday of the month at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. We'll be streaming live on our Facebook page at Jacquie O Blog and our YouTube channel at Jacquie O. Join us for an hour filled with inspiration, motivation, and valuable information aimed at helping you to live and think well. Motivational Monday with me, your girl, Jacquie O, promises to be a time of empowerment and positivity. Mark your calendars and be ready to be uplifted and motivated to embrace the best version of yourself. Remember, forgiveness doesn't necessarily mean forgetting or reconciling with those who wronged you. It's a deeply personal journey of letting go and choosing not to be defined by the hurt. As you embark on this path, you'll discover that forgiveness empowers you to reclaim your inner strength and joy. It's a gift that allows you to step into a future unburdened by the weight of the past. So, embrace the second chance at forgiveness, not just for others, but primarily for yourself. Open your heart to healing and watch as forgiveness sets you free to live a life filled with peace and happiness. This exquisite calming butter by the Glow Collection by Jacquie O is a luxurious creation meticulously crafted in small batches for an unparalleled indulgence. This hand-whipped masterpiece is a blend of pure, all-natural ingredients, each selected to soothe and nourish your skin, leaving it feeling hydrated and refreshed from the stresses of your day. Each jar represents a commitment to quality and authenticity. Let this calming butter by the Glow Collection become your cherished companion in self-care. Shop the Glow Collection by Jacquie O at www.jackieo.com.
Welcome back. And it's me, your girl, Jacquie with Jacquie O. I really hope you all enjoyed tonight's episode with Dr. King-Gregory and Janáe Michelle. And we were talking about rewriting the narratives. So as we mentioned, our show, it airs every first Monday of the month, Central Standard Time at 7 p.m., live on our Facebook page and our YouTube channel. And we are all about bringing guests to you and bringing shows to help you to think well and to live well. And if you would like to purchase our amazing skincare from our skincare line, you can visit our website at www.jackieo.com. And we also have an amazing event that's coming up called Intimate Moments, the Retreat. Intimate Moments, the Retreat will be on Saturday, January the 13th at 11 a.m. in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And for all of the details and to register, you can do that also on our website at www.jackieo.com. Again, thank you all so much for tuning in with us on this evening. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. We pray that you will be blessed abundantly, more than you could ever hope, dream, or imagine. And so until the next time, we pray that you have a great rest of your evening, and we will see you next month for Motivational Monday with me, your girl, Jacquie O.